what today is that elevator pitch on Installation Nation and kind of what you guys do?
Our mantra is we install it all so you don't have to. And that's exactly what it's become, right? As you add so many products and so many different items in the house that connects, they need to work seamlessly. It's not only about connecting, the device or installing the one product that you may be there to do, but making sure that it works with the rest of everything that's there as well.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stotts. We're coming to you this week with another primetime podcast. This one, our second from the show, and it's a cool one. We have a new partnership that was unveiled at primetime in Nashville with Installation Nation, a cool company in and of itself that we'll dive into in this podcast. But we sat down with President and CEO Jacob Anderson, who's got a long background, a career in telecommunications and building, networks and things like that, installing those networks, and at the helm of a company that is going to provide a pretty cool service to nationwide members. I think we're all very much aware of the labor challenges, happening in not just the retail industry, but all industries right now. It's tough to find and attract new talent, as it stands. And that can have a big impact and put a lot of stress on delivery and installation departments for retailers. And that's exactly where, our partnership with Installation Nation and Jacob's company, will help to fill some gaps. Installation Nation's team of certified and trained professionals are there to provide that supplemental service to what you're already providing to your customers, and ensure that that delivery and installation process is a seamless one. And that this partnership is going to get its start with the appliances and CE space, and that's kind of the background as we dive into with Jacob of this company, of Installation Nation, and kind of what their core is and what their core competency and what they're strong at. They're used to going in and building those strong networks and making, smart home products all talk to one another and making that a seamless experience for the end user, and of course appliances as well. So it's a cool partnership, one that I think is going to have be able to provide a lot of benefits to so many members across the nationwide network, and we're excited to just dive into it. So let's go ahead and get after it. This is Jacob Anderson, President and CEO of Installation Nation.
All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast live from Nationwide. Well, maybe not live when you're watching this. Live as we're doing it. So
we're here.
Right. Mr. Jacob Anderson, President and CEO of Installation Nation. So appreciate you taking the time, your first prime time, sitting down and chatting with us. So
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. So tell us a little about yourself. Well, I'm meeting you. We've exchanged a couple of emails, but this is our first interaction. So tell me a little bit about yourself, who Jacob Anderson is.
I obviously President and CEO of Installation Nation, right? Came up in the telecommunications industry. Started entry level with one of our sister companies, straight out of high school, right in the door, in the call center. Worked my way up through over the years into different management positions and creating different departments. And what we focused on back then was creating a network of installers to support primarily DirecTV, AT&T, video and broadband services. And over the course of time, right, as that developed, we grew into AT&T and DirecTV's largest third-party installation network outside of their own channel. So we supported all of the big box retailers across the country for all of the sales that came through any of theirs throughout the United States. And then from there, as the industry started to shift with streaming becoming more of a platform and people shying away from the traditional video, we took our strengths in building networks and we started looking at what the need was out there for other companies. And we started getting into the delivery and installation of appliances, AV, home theater, smart home. IoT is really big right now. I mean, even in the appliance world, there's so many connected devices.
Yep.
And we noticed that a lot of the customers weren't as tech savvy or weren't interested in having to set all of that up. So that's where we came in.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I think about this space because my own smart home experience, right? You got all these different, it's a market that was so young and new, what 5-ish years ago, you can even think back to, and what it is today, there's just myriad products that touch all corners of the home, from appliances to all these different things. And I mean, it's overwhelming for a normal consumer that, you think of, it was always referred to right as DIY, and now it's like kind of that you want to do it for me.
Right.
That it's getting a little complicated. So no, that's awesome, and to have someone to be able to do that and be able to call on you guys. What today is that elevator pitch on Installation Nation and kind of what you guys do? I know you kind of dove into the background and how you got to where you are today, but what is the core of what you do today?
Well, you kind of touched on it, right? Our mantra is, we install it all so you don't have to. And that's exactly what it's become, right? As you add so many products and so many different items in the house that connects, they need to work seamlessly. You don't want it to affect your network as well. And so it's not only about connecting, the device or installing the one product that you may be there to do, but making sure that it works with the rest of everything that's there as well. And even on the non-connected devices, right? Just your traditional appliances, so to speak. You still want to make sure that you're delivering on what that customer experience is, and that's what we pride ourselves on. So our elevator pitch is, we install it all so you don't have to, and then that goes into, we also pride ourselves that it's white glove delivery and installation, keeping that customer experience in mind.
I mentioned it, but we've seen this space explode, right? The smart home space explode, and networking in particular. Obviously, networks, I think the last 18 months probably have been more stressed than they've ever been at any point in history. But
yes.
What's for you guys, because there is so many new technologies and areas to this space, what are you guys doing to make sure that you're on top of it? I mean, naturally, you have an interest in kind of these technologies. Everything sort of makes sense. But do you find yourselves having to, get trained on new things and figure out how all these devices plug together and play seamlessly at the end of the day?
Absolutely. Training never stops, right?
Yeah.
Internally and externally. So, what we do is, our internal team is, very close knit. It's a bunch of us that have come up through, different sister companies. And as this started to grow and we kind of brought people into Installation Nation, we really got, those individuals who were interested in this type of work and who had the background, and brought them in to kind of make us stronger. We were a CDM member, and so we utilize a lot of their training as well for our technicians, just to make sure that, to that point, right, there's some things that never change, right? Yeah. You're always going to put, gloves and booties on. You're always going to, utilize, your professional manner while you're in the house, and you're always going to represent, your clients and your partners the right way. But you want to make sure that you're also giving those individuals the opportunities at, bettering themselves. So we always encourage, training to our technicians. All of it is open to them. We track all of that internally just to see. It opens you up to different skill sets. And so
absolutely.
The challenge that, was created throughout the pandemic and the explosion that this industry has actually seen, created a lot of those opportunities for those individuals as well, because now it's helped them grow, and it's given opportunity to people who may have lost that opportunity elsewhere to now come into a new space and get that level of support to kind of seize this opportunity to go into. No,
that's awesome. You mentioned in there that your team has grown, obviously, as you guys expand into different areas and just different parts. To talk about the makeup, what is the makeup of Installation Nation, and kind of how this team, how your team looks and operates? Yeah, so the internal team is made up. It's very interesting, right? It is, everybody has their role, everybody has their part to play to make sure that
everything keeps running. Everything from our dispatch to our customer service to our recruiting, accounting, IT, all of it. But we all kind of share in that as well. So, one thing that I do like to see as part of the team that I work with is they all pick up for each other, right? And so, for instance, for the team that's here this week, on site, we still have roles and things that need to be fulfilled while we're, out here meeting with people.
Never ends, right?
It doesn't. And so we're lucky enough to have, a strong team there in the office that will pick up and make sure that things are taken care of and things keep, running smoothly as we're out and about, meeting with everybody here at Primetime.
Sure, absolutely. And speaking of being here at Primetime, obviously, your guys' first Primetime. What excites you, just about being here, about being able to work with this network of nationwide dealers and kind of, what the opportunity is here for both Installation Nation and the nationwide members?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a growing answer to that question, right? So, and it's funny the things that I've picked up on, but there's a lot about Nationwide that has been positive, right? I mean, I've been talking with the guys here at Nationwide for the last 2 years, and it's been, there's something here, but we're not quite sure what it is yet. And when pandemic came on, and everybody started getting pushed out on how much flexibility they had on being able to perform their deliveries and installs. I was speaking, with the gentleman here at Nationwide, and it kind of clicked. Like, okay, well, this is where you guys can help, and that was really the first thing. Is there's a value I know that we can provide, and so there is a level of excitement when I know that there's members that are having challenges to be able to fulfill their needs, that are pushed out months. To be able to get their customers their products, and to be able to come in and add value to that is really big. And then it goes as far as last night we walked down to see where everything kind of was, and there's the 50th anniversary kind of wall downstairs, right, that's all set up and has different pictures and timelines, and there's so much about you can tell from those pictures and what the people in them represent. And that's probably what's exciting me personally the most, and even my team from the conference calls that they've been on leading up to this, is there is a big level of partnership, and everybody's willing to kind of pitch in and do things. And it's nice to have that more of a cohesive effort between the two. So there's, not only am I excited about it, but it's gotten the entire team excited that, these are people they want to work with.
No, that's awesome to hear. And kind of, before we dive a little bit deeper, kind of give that broad overview on what this partnership is and kind of what Installation Nation brings to, the table for a nationwide deal. We've hit on it throughout. Obviously, you guys, you provide that delivery service, and, how will you be working with nationwide members, in their businesses, and what's the opportunity that you bring to the table for them?
Right. So what we did when we started looking at this is, our objective was to offer the service to nationwide members that we will do delivery services, we'll do installation services, or we can do both. Starting out, there's a primary focus in appliances and AV. So for home theater, TV mounting, things like that, and smart home. So we wanted to determine, with there being so many members, how do we help all of them, right? How do we build something that anyone can use, from a dealer with an individual location all the way up to a dealer with 20 locations, right? And so what we did is we built a specific portal for nationwide members that we'll have on cards at our booth. We'll have out in emails and communications and things, that all they have to do is they go to that site, they sign up, they select what it is that they're interested in doing, whether it's delivery, install, or both. It comes through to us, we get them approved and set up with a login, and then they go through the process. From there, it's really, really easy process to enter an order, but it allows it for those dealers to go in and put through their customers with having that kind of seamless integration that would work for dealers of all sizes.
Gotcha. No, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because you think about, the challenges a lot of these guys face today, and you hit on it too. There's, the times that we're in right now, labor and shortages are certainly a big thing. So this can be a huge benefit. Guys, that you mentioned it, the long lead times, having to have customers wait before they get product is a great way to kind of pick that up and help them, satisfy their customers quicker and get those things done seamlessly. And it, with seeming like y'all are part of the team, right? So
right.
It's cool to see. And, to that point, you guys are, when you're out there, obviously you're Installation Nation, but you also represent the member themselves, the retailer that, you are delivering and / installing for. So, can you talk a little bit about, what, I may go back to talking about training as well here, but, what you guys are doing to ensure that, what that process is like and, what the feedback circle, I guess, is like as well, as you're working with the customer and, you guys are out there, like I said, just representing that dealer.
Right.
So what are you guys doing to make sure that they're being represented in the best light?
Right. So I mentioned, the industry I came up in, we worked with a lot of the big box retailers, right? And with that comes a lot of expectation from their side. And it taught us a lot. It really did. It really helped us kind of perfect our white glove process because, as part of that training down to all levels of the organization, from our internal teams and our technicians, right, you are representing brands outside of Installation Nation, right? And to that point, we want to make sure that whether we're representing a member that has a single store or a member that has 20 stores, we're still providing that same service across the board, that when we're in a customer's home, right, first and foremost, we're representing that brand. We pride ourselves on our own reputation, but we want to make sure that we leave that customer with a level of satisfaction better than what anyone else is going to provide, and that's what we strive on. So we have metrics in place that we track all of our technicians on, and we do our post-call surveys with every customer afterwards just to make sure that they are completely satisfied, and if not, what is it that we can do to help them with that. And one of the good things there, when members are working with a third party, is having that feedback so that they understand how that experience went. Mm-hmm. And we track that feedback from a sales experience, from an install experience, from whatever the member or for the customer had to say. All of that information is passed back and visible to the members so that they know exactly how everything went, and make sure that the customers are satisfied. So that's where it comes in with part of our white glove process, is making sure that the members and the stores and brands we're representing is forefront of everybody's mind.
Absolutely. That's an awesome overview of kind of that end of the service sort of loop, right? You're in the customer's home and kind of what that looks like. For our retailers and our members here at Nationwide, talk about that before the product gets delivered, installed. What's it like working with Installation Nation to get that, get it moving? You mentioned the sign up a little bit, how we're going to have a portal for these guys, but when they're ready to submit that first order for pickup, installation, delivery, whatever it may be, what's it like for them? What's the process that they have to go through and all that? So that one, the ease of access and time is what we built that off of. Time is money. We know that everybody doesn't have a whole bunch of time to stand around and input orders into systems and things. So we wanted to make it as simple and seamless as possible. So whenever they log into their portal, it'll have everything already pre-populated, and it's built around how they set their profile up. If it's, say that it's delivery and install options, right? They can go in, they can select the products that they're looking to have. They can put whether it's just delivery, whether it's install, whether it's both. It populates all the pricing from there. They go through, they pay for that, they put it on a schedule, and it's done. Scheduling is all based on live availability, so it's integrated with our system.
and whatever they're selecting and they're looking at that point in time is what we actually have and is ready to go.
Gotcha.
And then after, what's probably even more important is the visibility to that order after point of sale, right?
Right.
So they have visibility into live tracking the day of. So our installers will, show up to their location or their warehouse, wherever it is that we go, pick up their product, deliver it to the customer's home, and there is tracking throughout that process for them to have visibility that they know we're running 5 jobs for them that day. We're on stop number 3. We still have 2 more left. ETAs have been provided to the customer. Here's the notes for everything. Here's pictures on the jobs that we've completed. Anything that they might want after the fact up until the point that it's closed out and any kind of haulaways and returns are done.
That's awesome. Great to have that kind of, that provides, I think, a level of comfort to the dealer that they could be able to do that and follow it throughout the process and see where things are. You wanted to be that set it and forget it thing, but these guys are going to want to know. Right?
Absolutely.
So the more
100%.
access they have, the better, and it's cool to see that you guys are providing that to them and the customer as well. I know that they get the same level with you guys, and no, that's awesome. But I want to close. We got a busy show here. I don't want to steal all your time, but just there's a little something going on this week. But this last year, it's been crazy, and I imagine demand has been crazy for you guys and your services as well. So, how have you as a company, Installation Nation, had to adapt to this time and kind of what we've been living through?
Recruiting, right?
Yeah.
It's all about recruiting. It has provided such a great opportunity for all of us, our technicians in the field, because it has opened so many doors with demand that's out there, and with a lot of people that may have lost a path that they were down before. It's opened a new door for them as well. So we've brought on additional recruiting staff to bring on more technicians out in the field. It has helped our footprint grow even more throughout our network. It's been a great thing for all of us. It really has. And so even though it's created its challenges, it's still been a very positive thing for us.
No, that's awesome. And like I said, busy show. Great to hear, kind of what you guys are bringing to the table, and looking forward to seeing how this grows and this partnership develops and blossoms over the weeks, months, years to come. So,
yes,
Jacob, I really appreciate the time, and enjoy your prime time. Enjoy your time here at Prime Time.
Definitely, we're excited. We're looking forward to meet with everybody.
Awesome.
All right, and a big thank you again, to Jacob for taking time and stepping away from his booth and chatting with us about, everything Installation Nation brings to the table for Nationwide Marketing Group and our independent retailers. So, like I said, cool service that we're looking forward to seeing how it benefits our members and how our members are able to use it to improve their, their businesses and how they're helping in their communities and with their customers. So, cool to see and cool to chat with Jacob. And this is just another episode. We got plenty more content coming to you from Primetime, so stay tuned over the next couple of weeks, and we look forward to dishing it all out to you. So, as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we will catch you next time.